Hello. All right, let's start with the what the country I know the most here, which is South Korea. And online, there's a big perception that South Koreans are really racist. And let me just clear this up. South Koreans are not racist, but they do have this self-hating mentality about them, you know? Like a lot of people will accuse South Korea of having this nationalistic superiority complex, but that's just not true. A lot of Koreans really hate themselves, you know? Like they hate their women, they hate their children, they hate their men. A lot of Koreans just live and walk around hating other Koreans. And that, you can't really be like a racist if that's the case, right? And I don't know, from my perspective, when I went around, Koreans love black people sometimes. They love white people sometimes. They don't like it when French people are really loud in the bus. But who really does like French people? And recently, there's been a lot of people saying like, "Oh, I don't like the tourists here in Korea," but it's whatever. I don't know. I feel like South Korea gets a bad rap on racism, but they're not even that bad. I'll put extreme patriots here because a lot of Koreans are really patriotic, but nah. I mean, it's not that bad. Israel, yeah. Um, North Korea. This is a confusing one. I feel like I'd have to make a tier of my own, right? With Korea. They don't get a lot of foreigners out there. But I'll put them next to his brother South Korea. No, that doesn't make sense. South Korea has to be a little bit more racist than North Korea. But then again, like they are really nationalistic, you know. Uh, no, no, it has to be like this then. Like I don't know. I just can't in good conscience put them in the same tier. Same thing with India. India has to be more racist than Sri Lanka, just because Sri Lanka is a smaller country. Um, I'll put India and Israel together because they are like really, really um like close together, you know? Like I feel like India and Israel, when you're talking about racism, has to be put together. Um, Malaysia loves everyone, of course, of course. Every single Malaysian brother I've seen love everyone equally. They love the people around them, and yeah, yeah, bro. I love my Malaysian brothers. Anyways, Singapore, same thing with Singapore, just the Southeast Asian hospitality and love. It's so warming. It's so nice to see. And you know what? This extends to wait, hold on. I just have to put this. I just have to get this out of the way. Turkey's has to be racist. No, I have to put. Nah, I can't put India the same tier. I'll put Sri Lanka and South Korea together. And India, Extreme Patriots. That makes more sense. Like these have to be in different tiers, and these two countries have to be in different tiers. You know? What's this? Cambodia? I'll put Cambodia. Just the entire Southeast Asian hospitality thing is so true. I've never encountered a Southeast Asian that was like extreme racist. That just doesn't happen because of how hospitable everyone is. And I just love just love that hospitality, bro. Bhutan's whole thing is like energy conservation, right? And like being peaceful and they're all monks there. I think you have to put them at love everyone, right? Yeah, they have to be in their own tier. They can't be hateful. It's against their country. It's like super. I don't know. Maybe they are a bit racist towards the Chinese because of the whole salami slicing thing. But I don't know. I'll put China at extreme patriots as well. That makes more sense. Albania tier racism. That's definitely true. Japan is 100 times more racist than Korea. Like, I'll just put that out there. They hate foreigners over there. Like, at least South Korea, sometimes you don't get accepted to clubs. Mm, yeah, yeah, that makes more sense. Man, this is hard. UAE slavery. Um, extreme racist tier. I don't know. I'll put Pakistan in the tier below India. Like nothing compares to India when we come to racism. Vietnam, I love the Vietnamese, man. I love Vietnamese people. They're the most like loving, nice people. But also they have a lot of like connections to the West, right? I feel like the closer you are to like the foreign countries and the more interconnection and the more like traveling between the countries, there has to be more racism because you have to be around the people a lot, you know? So I compared to other like the Southeast Asian countries, Vietnam is just like there's a lot of US Vietnamese and then a lot of people traveling between back and forth between the West and Vietnam. And because of that, they have to be slightly more racist than the other countries, right? But I'll still put them at the very loving tier. No, because it's just true. Now, when it comes to Central Asians, I will say this. Central Asians are very prideful people, but I've never met a really racist Central Asian. So this includes like countries like Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, any Central Asian country. Like I don't know, they're the nicest people ever. But you can't be love everyone tier when you're that prideful and nationalistic of your country, right? So that's just my personal opinion, and that's why I'm putting Kazakhstan slightly above all the other countries. Um, Now, you guys are gonna make fun of my geography knowledge, but I have no idea what this country is. Like, I'm so sorry if someone can educate me. But based on the flag, they have a pretty cool flag, so they have to be a little bit racist, no? I'll put them in the Albania tier. Qat- this is Qatar. What's this? Huh. Yeah, is this Bahrain? No, I have to put Bahrain at wholesome 100. I don't know, man. I don't know. This is hard. Azerbaijan, they have to be in the Albania tier. Albania tier racism. Just self-explanatory, that one. Palestine, they are a bit racist, but they can't, you know, they don't really have a choice, so I'll put them at the nationalist tier. I mean, if your country's been bombed for like a million years by the Jews, you have to be a little bit racist against them, no? I don't know, that's just my personal opinion. But they are the victims in this case, so you have to like kind of think like they deserve the right to be racist, you know what I mean? Georgia, I don't know a lot of Georgians, but they are white, right? So they have to be a bit racist. Because, we all can agree that white people are racist. So I'll put them right next to Korea. No, India has to be a little bit more racist then. I'm not putting Georgia and India in the same tier. Yeah, maybe I'm lost. Do I put India up? Is India the same tier as Japan? But then I have to put like Sri Lanka close together, right? No, yeah, this has to be it. No. Oh, I lost it. Where's Sri Lanka? Yeah, yeah, here you go. Just, you know, uh, that just happens to be the case. Lebanon, Lebanese food is goated. I love my Lebanese people. Um, but a lot of the Lebanese women out there are super racist, especially against like black people, you know? And then they have a lot of like Muslim groups against like Catholics and the original Christians because they have to change a rule, right? So they have to have a lot of religious infighting. Because of that, they have to be a little bit racist, right? So I'll put them pretty high up, I think. I'll put them right next to Korea. They have to be similar levels of. Is it unfair to put the Georgians up there? Yeah, I don't know. And Palestine up there. No, I'll put this down. Japan is definitely more racist than Korea. We can all agree on that. But this is like the Slavery tier, we are using racism to excuse our exploitation tier. This is like the tier below that. Mm, yeah, I think all of this makes sense. Now, these are the countries that I just don't know. Hold on, can I make a new tier? Add a row. I'm gonna name this I don't know. I'll just put these two countries. And it's not necessarily because I don't know the country. Like, I know what they are, right? I've seen those flags and I memorized the names. But like Brunei, I don't even know how to pronounce it. Like, I don't know. I don't know anyone from that country, and I'm respectfully sorry if you're from there. Same thing with this country. I don't know what that is. I know this is Bangladesh. Bangladesh has to be pretty high up there. They're a pretty poor country. So I'll put them at the wholesome 100. You can't really be racist at a victim position, in my opinion. These guys hate Americans, but I don't know if that counts as racism. They've been pretty hospitable when I was a foreigner and people went there. Qatar has to be one of in terms of Middle Eastern countries, they have to be pretty high up there. They have to be at least more than Palestine, right? A little bit more than Palestine, but no, Qatar has. They've been the mediators, they've been the negotiators, geopolitically for Palestine and Israel two-state policy decisions. So they've been kind of like in the middle about the whole Israel thing. So they can't be that racist against Jews. So I'll put them at the very loving tier. Is that fair? No, Qatar has to be hateful. Um, I'll put Palestine higher then. Yeah. Iraq? Nah, they have to be in the pretty loving tier, right? Pretty hospitable, pretty loving. Oh, fuck. Mongolia, Central Asians are fucking goated. Hmm. Syria, Middle Eastern, pretty goated. I'm getting tired doing this, guys. So if I'm not talking that much, that's why. Hmm. This next one, I'm not really sure. I'm not sure. Russia. Oh, they have to be high up. They have to be next to Japan, at least. And you know what? Myanmar? I don't know, man. I don't know how racist Myanmar are. Philippines, pretty goated. Not that racist. Saudi Arabia, they have to be a little bit more racist. They're just hand in hand with the UAE. You can't be that close with the UAE and not have some like racism in you. And like just the closeness to the UAE alone, because they're like close trading partners and everything, they have to be pretty high up there, you know? They do everything together, so I can't put them like completely on the other side. Cyprus, they love everyone. I love my Cyprus people. They have a bunch of tourists coming in, and especially, and you can't be that racist if you have that many tourists, right? Like they've assimilated it. I mean, Hong Kong, huh? No, Kyrgyzstan, wholesome Reddit 100, huh? Is this Yemen? I don't know. Hong Kong, I'll put them next to Japan. That is the Hong Kong flag. I'm not being an idiot. Yeah, that is the Hong Kong flag. Mm, and I don't know, like I don't know how racist these other countries are. Like Uzbekistan is Central Asian, so they have to be in the wholesome Reddit 100 tier, right? I'm just no, Kyrgyzstan has to be a little bit higher because they were a really, really poor country and they had involvement from the West at some point, so they can't be put along with the other Central Asian countries. And Syria has to be high up there, you know? Like I don't know. Is North Korea racist? They have to be racist against Americans, but at that point, is that really racism? I don't know. I just feel comfortable putting North Korea and Qatar in the same tier. But there's no way South Korea is less racist than North Koreans. Huh. This is hard. This is hard. Armenia. I love Armenians. Armenians are so nice. But they are like part of the Balkans, and the Balkans is not known to be the most friendly to the black community or black people who visit there. But it's mostly jokes and it's mostly like because they don't understand, they've never been around black people before. Um, I'm hovering between extreme patriots and slight nationalist. I'll put him at slight nationalist. And the rest, I kind of don't know. I kind of don't know. It's hard, man. Hmm. Like I can talk about the other countries, but like, what's the point, you know? Like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Indonesia. I guess I can talk about Indonesia. They are like Southeast Asian, so continuing the trade. Uh, uh, I mean, trend of Southeast Asians and how much they love everyone. You know, from my experience at least, I'll put them pretty high up there. And so I'll put Cambodia pretty high up there as well. Wait, I'll add a new row. Bhutan is just like own tier. Um, Kuwait. I guess I can put Kuwait at the same tier as the other Middle Eastern countries. Hmm. Taiwan is America pilled. They have a lot of correlations with America, and that automatically makes you very racist. Next to the extreme patriots, they like South Korea and Taiwan. They have to be pretty close together, right? Yeah, they have to be. And where did I put China? Yeah, I feel pretty comfortable putting Taiwan and China in the same tier in terms of racism. For different reasons, Chinese are extreme patriots and they really love nationalism and just taking control of their land nearby, really thinking they're superior. And this goes for all the in groupings of China as well. What you see in China is they love their government and their country, and the country is filled with nationalists. So because of that, they feel that they're superior to other countries in nearby them, like their government or whatever. And I mean, the same thing can be said about South Korea to a lesser extent, but I just feel really comfortable putting Taiwan and China together for different reasons. I think Taiwan aligns itself to the imperialist America a lot, so that's why I put America pretty high in racism because of Taiwan's involvement. They can't be innocent if they're so America pilled. So I'll just put them at extreme patriots. That's part of the reason why South Korea is high up here as well. And the rest of these countries, like I don't really know that well, man. I don't know. Like I just talked about the racism with all these countries. Like Thailand, I guess I can put him at love everyone tier. Oman, I'll put Oman in the Bhutan tier. Nepal, same thing, kind of like love everyone tier. Mm. I don't know these other countries. I feel so stupid for not knowing these other countries. Um, one of these is Turkmenistan, right? But I don't know which one. So I'll put all of these in the I don't know tier. But yeah, that's my list. That's my list of all the racism tier. All right. Bye bye.